The Indians got the early lead thanks to the home run ball and hung on at the end to move within a game and a half of Tampa in the AL wild card. Tonight, it's a chance to keep the pressure on and further dash the Royals' postseason dreams. Zach McAllister will try to even up his record at 8-8 next on Sports Time Ohio. Summer has returned in downtown Cleveland. Today, temperatures soaring near triple digits. And tonight, the Indians look to stay hot against the Kansas City Royals. Hi again, everyone. Matt Underwood alongside Rick Manning. The Indians beat Kansas City for the fourth straight time last night. They've really dominated Kansas City here at home this year. And, Rick, last night they did it with the long ball.
Yeah, it was sort of fun to watch. They were all solo home runs, but after Cabrera took two bad swings, he put a good swing on a fastball away to get the home run, and then Yan Gomes shooting it the other way. He has been on fire. He's on a hitting streak. And then Santana pulls the ball down the line, hits the pole. They had to review it. That was the third solo home run of the night, and they ended up hanging on for the one-run victory.
The Indians have beaten Kansas City now 6 straight times here at home. What's been the key to their success?
Well, they've kept them in the ballpark, and Kansas City's not hitting, with runners in scoring position, just 207, and they've been able to hit their bullpen here, and they've got the best bullpen in baseball.
It's been a good formula for success for the Tribe. We'll see if they can continue that here tonight. Zach McAllister will take the ball for the Tribe, hoping to follow in the footsteps of Ubaldo Jimenez, who offered another gem last night for the Indians. The play-by-play between the Tribe and the Royals is next. Speed kills. Gomes continues to throw on the money. It is gone. If the Indians take the opener of this critical series. All the thrills and chills from last night right down to the final out of the ball game. The Indians come away with the victory. And a big one it was. They're 77-66 on the year. Kansas City now 75-69. Tribe a game and a half back of Tampa Bay in the wild card chase. Ned Yost, Kansas City Royals, his starting lineup tonight looks like this. Alex Gordon will lead it off. He homered last night, went 2 for 5. Emilio Bonifacio bats second. Then Eric Hosmer will hit third. Billy Butler cleanup. Mike Moustakas fifth. Salvador Perez batting sixth. David Lowe gets the start tonight in right field. He'll bat seventh. Then Alcides Escobar and Gerard Dyson.
Well, Zach McAllister making his 21st start this year. McAllister 7-8, trying to get to that 500 mark today. This is his first start against Kansas City this year. He made 2 starts against them last year. He was 1-1, and he had a .497 ERA and 12 2/3 innings. His last 2 starts, they've been tough. For McAllister to be successful, he's going to have to, throw that fastball and pitch inside, but also find that changeup or a breaking ball, an off-speed pitch that can sort of back off those hitters. Let's take a look at the Kia Indians defense. Brantley in left, Bourne in center, Kubel in right, Chisenhall at third, Cabrera at short, Kipnis at second, Swisher at first with Gomes behind the plate.
The crew chief, Dana DeMuth, will call the balls and strikes tonight. Mike Estabrook at first, Paul Nauert at second, Doug Eddings down at third. Kansas City knows they've got an uphill climb. They're now 4 off the pace in the wild card race. They trail New York by a game. And then, of course, the Indians and Orioles by 2.5 games. Baltimore and Cleveland both with identical 77 and 66 records, so they're right behind Tampa. And Tampa opening a series at home tonight against the Boston Red Sox. Baltimore is at home against New York. Al will have updates from the studio throughout the ballgame. We're underway as McAllister misses outside, ball 1 to Gordon. 94 degrees our game time temperature.
Isn't it? September 11th.
High fly ball, right field, pretty well hit. Back is Kubel on the track, and he makes the catch. Back up against the wall, 1 away. We haven't had many games where it's been 94 degrees this year. I'm not sure we've had any, and you can see the effect already. The ball is going to carry well tonight.
Well, I'll tell you what, there was about a step left before Kubel ran out of room, and it's right at the base of the wall. So you either better, let out a big sigh of relief right there. Stay in the ballpark.
Emilio Bonifacio, 0 for 4 last night in the series opener. One ball, one strike.
Yeah, Zach in his last 2 starts, he has been averaging 20 pitches per inning, which is not him because he's a strike thrower and a guy that usually pitches ahead in the count. But it all comes off the command of the fastball and using both sides of the plate.
Upstairs, missed badly, 3-1. Eric Hosmer waiting on deck here in the first. Taking all the way, it looked like, full count. Bonifacio, who struggled mightily this year with Toronto, has swung the bat well since coming over to Kansas City. Swings and hits it high in the air to right field. Kubel says, I've got it. And he does. 2 away. With more on Zach McAllister and his plan of attack tonight, here is Katie Witham.
Well, Matt, you're right. With this weather, the ball's definitely going to jump tonight, which makes it even more important for Zach McAllister to pitch in. Mickey Callaway said the last bullpen session, the complete focus was on McAllister getting comfortable going in off the plate. Even if the scouting report shows that a specific player is an inside hitter, he wants Zach to continue to pitch in off the plate and get comfortable there.
There's a fly ball to center field. Pretty good results here in the first. 3 fly balls, 9 pitches. The Royals go 1-2-3. The Indians are coming to bat. Bottom of the first here at Progressive Field. Terry Francona's starting lineup is brought to you by Progressive Insurance, making it easy to bundle your home and car insurance. Michael Bourne in the leadoff spot, followed by Nick Swisher, then Jason Kipnis. Carlos Santana, who homered, taking over the team lead last night, will bat cleanup. Michael Brantley fifth as Drupal Cabrera sixth. Jan Gomes seventh. Jason Kubel in the lineup tonight batting eighth, and Lonnie Chisenhall will hit ninth.
And Jeremy Guthrie on the mound for the Kansas City Royals. It's his fourth start against the Indians this year. He is 1-1 and 1 no decision. His first start was a dandy, where he went 6 2/3, 6 hits, and no runs. He gave up 5 runs in 6 1/3 his second start, and then 5 runs in his third, where he went 7. But 1-1, he will give up the long ball. He's given up 26, although of those 26 home runs, he has had a lot of solo shots, 18 of them.
Michael Bourne slaps it to third. Mustaka spins around, throws him out, 1 away.
Let's check out the Royals' defense behind Guthrie tonight. It's Gordon in left, Dyson in center. Lowe is in right. Moustakas at third, Escobar at short, Bonifacio at second, Hosmer at first, Perez doing the catching.
Up comes Nick Swisher, who has had a lot of success against Jeremy Guthrie in his career. A .351 average with a couple of homers, 9 runs batted in. Guthrie has been very good at keeping the ball in the ballpark. He's only given up 4 homers
since
in his
break.
last 64 innings of work.
Yeah, since the break, he's been very good.
Two balls and a strike.
Before the break, he was giving up a homer in every 5.5 innings, 5.5 innings, and then since, it's 1 every 16 innings pitched.
Had him a little bit out in front of that. 2 down. All right, let's take a look at our keys to the game, courtesy of Akron Children's Hospital. For Zach McAllister, he needs to be effective with the off-speed pitches tonight. And for the Indians, can they do what not many teams have been able to do against Jeremy Guthrie since the All-Star break? Take him deep.
Well, they had that remedy last night. The home runs, they had 5 hits, 3 left the ballpark. They didn't leave a runner on base. So they took advantage of every hit they had last night. That's not easy to do.
Back out of play. Upstairs with it. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Really moved him back off the plate. And the count back to even now at 2 and 2. Jason hitless last night in the series opener. You can see there he's had success against Guthrie. In and out of the glove of Perez. Tom Bochenek says tonight is our second warmest starting game time temperature of the season. The only one hotter was down in Texas.
Oh, I was going to say, it has to be Texas.
2-2. Kipnis yanks it into right field, a base hit. So a 2-out single keeps the inning alive as Jason Kipnis has his first hit in the series.
Well, he was down in the count 0-2, and then he worked it to 2-2, and he gets a nice curveball. Kipnis stayed back on nicely and hits it into right field for a knock. Good at bat.
Up comes Carlos Santana. Santana has 1 hit in each of his last 4 games. And last night his hit, to quote you, was a vicious line drive, and he doinked it off the foul pole for a homer.
Yeah, it was the outside part of that foul pole. They had to go to look at it because Dana DeMuth really didn't see it hit the pole until they had to look twice. And then they came back out and had a good look at it and said, yeah, where did that ball go? It disappeared. They were looking for the ball, and you can see it hits and kicks straight down. Thank you very much. It just interrupted Santana from his trot around the bases.
Sometimes on those balls, even from where we sit, it's hard to tell on the ball hit right down the line. And I was reacting off two things. One, when I saw the ball ricochet back onto the field and I saw Santana halfway to second, that's why I called it a home run, figuring, well, he's got a good look at down it on the field. Ball clearly hit over the wall.
Well, that's the good guy to watch is the hitter because they're running straight down the line.
But then Dana DeMuth, he put the stop sign on, said foul ball. But then it was a good second look on our replay that showed it glancing off that foul pole.
Well, we did see Mike Sarbaugh go up there and say something.
Yeah.
And normally when you see your coaches go up there, there's something going on.
Another base hit in the right field. Kipnis hit second, and he'll stop there. Lowe got to it quickly. Got off a good throw. So back-to-back two-out singles here in the first.
Well, Carlos gets a high fastball. He loves it. He likes the harder you throw, the better he likes it. He finds the hole between first and second. Hit too hard for Kipnis to go to third. You have two outs. Now he is in scoring position for Michael Brantley.
Brantley's first game back since the birth of his daughter was last night. He went 0 for 3. But he's back in a spot that he has been all too familiar with this year and very successful. 35 hits in 100 at-bats on the year with a runner in scoring position. And when there's two outs, he seems to be even better, just more locked in.
Well, for a while there, Matt, he was as good as anybody in the league.
Right back up the middle, it's through. Kipnis coming around third. He's going to score. The Indians will take the 1-0 lead. Michael Brantley once again delivers in the clutch.
Well, back to himself. It doesn't matter how hard. He placed it perfectly right back up the middle. And the Indians do it again. 2 outs, nobody on, and they find a way to score. This is going to be our McDonald's. I'm loving it. Guthrie getting the ball upstairs a little bit, and some of the Indians hitters taking advantage of it. And Brantley drills it right back up the middle. Good speed with Kipnis coming around. For Brantley, his 60th RBI, and they will play from in front. 1-0 ball game.
The Indians this year, 57-23 when they score first.
That was their 79th run with 2 outs and nobody on.
Cabrera, again, first ball swinging. What is it with him lately? And it seems like if there's a first pitch and it's anywhere in the vicinity of home plate, he's getting after it.
He's been doing that for a while. He has not been patient, and he's always been an aggressive hitter. But you get guys in scoring position, I wouldn't throw him a strike because he's going to be swinging.
That's outside. He lays off 1-1. Our Firestone Complete Auto Care Extra Mile Index. Since 2009, Asdrubal Cabrera has piled up 107 hits, and he scored 54 runs against Kansas City. And there's a fly ball hit pretty well to center, but Dyson with the good speed runs it down. But the Indians bunch together 3 2-out hits to take a 1-0 lead after an inning. Brought to you by McDonald's, now introducing 3 exciting new Quarter Pounders. And by Kia. Cleveland on top 1-0 as we go to the second. And for the Royals, Billy Butler will lead it off. Fastball ran in off the plate. Fastball nails the corner. Butler 0 for his last 6 at the plate.
Ouch.
And he got drilled.
Well, he's trying to go inside, and that's what happens. He went too far inside and hit a man. You can't let that discourage you, though. You have to continue to pitch inside. Can't let that be a factor. They want him to do that. If you go inside, okay. He gets him up on the hip. That's the 6th guy that Zach has hit this year.
Well, at least he didn't hit one of their jackrabbits. They've got some guys on this team that can run.
Yes, they do.
Lorenzo Cain's not in the lineup tonight, but he runs well. They've got Escobar with 18 steals. Gerard Dyson has 30. Emilio Bonifacio can run well. Fouled back out of play.
Well, like we saw last night, they're going to continue to try to run. If you give that guy behind the plate, Yan Gomes, an opportunity, he's right around the 50% mark at throwing guys out.
Bounce towards first. Swisher fields it cleanly, steps on the bag, throws to second, and easy double play. Well done on both ends. Swisher with the tag, throwing it over the head of Butler and Cabrera. Just waiting for the big guy to slide into his glove.
That was just perfect for Swisher because he was right at the base. And you don't have a fast runner when you have Butler on first. And look, he picks it. And now just let me get the ball to Cabrera. And he went on the inside part. Even though he caught it over there, Butler must have been on the wrong side of the line because as a base runner, you try and get in the way of the shortstop. You look right at his eyes if you know the ball's hit behind you and try and get into a direct line where the first baseman has a problem with the throw.
Hit hard in the hole and a base hit for Salvador Perez. First hit of the night for Kansas City. 3rd hit in the series already for Perez, who has really been swinging the bat well of late. Our great clip of the game from last night, Ubaldo Jimenez. What another sterling performance. 3rd time in his last 4 starts, he has struck out 10 batters. And the great John Krepop telling us that the last Indians right-hander to accomplish that feat was your teammate Dennis Eckersley, 1976. David Lowe came on late in last night's game in the last inning and laid down a sacrifice. Northeast Ohio native bounces it to Kipnis. Flips it from his glove to Swisher. And the side is retired on 8 pitches here in the second. 1-0 Cleveland.
puts you in the owner suite is now available free on iPhone and iPad. Build your stadium and make the decisions to guide your team to the World Series. Download MLB Ballpark Empire. It is free today.
Bottom third of the Indians' order coming up here in the second. Yan Gomes, he drew rave reviews from the Royals, who watched him behind the plate last night slow their running game down by gunning down a couple of would-be base stealers. Gomes takes a strike. Our stat of the game brought to you by your Northern Ohio Buick dealers. He's hit an 8 straight, a new career high. Since the All-Star break, a 357 average. And he's thrown out almost 50% of the would-be base stealers.
Well, they had a clock on him yesterday, getting rid of the baseball from behind the plate to second base, and it was under 1.8. It was I think 178. And, I mean, anything under 2 is good. That is unbelievably quick. And he's accurate with his throws.
Well, you made the point when we showed the replays that, look, every catcher in the big leagues that's behind the plate has a strong arm. You wouldn't be back there if you didn't have a good, strong arm. But what enables a guy with a good, strong arm to get the throw on the bag is the footwork.
Oh,
and
boy.
His footwork is so quick that he gets. That's what enables him to cock that arm. And
he's turned and aimed right at his target in no time. He's fun to watch.
Most catchers that have trouble with the throws, it's not their arm. It's usually the footwork. They don't get lined up quick enough
in position
to let the ball go. Guthrie's 2-2. Breaking ball got him. First strikeout for the Royals right-hander. One down here in the second.
Here you go last night. Watch his footwork. I mean, boom and boom in a hurry. See how quick that is? And I mean right on the money with something on it. Not many guys get rid of it quicker than Yan Gomes. And he's only going to get better because he's just starting to learn that catching position. Starting to feel comfortable back there.
Jason Kubel swings and fouls it back. Speaking of getting better, that's certainly what Jeremy Guthrie has done since way back in 2002 when the Indians drafted him. Played his first 3 major league seasons with the Indians. The Orioles claimed him off waivers in the 2007 season. And he's just turned everything around. He's pitched very well. He's brought stability to this Royals starting rotation. A huge offseason for Kansas City. We've talked about it for obvious reasons, what the Indians did this past offseason. But for Kansas City, making the trade to get James Shields, they gave up a tremendous prospect to do it. But they needed to do it.
Yeah.
For where this club's at right now. And they got Shields, and he's been tremendous. But Guthrie gives you that solid guy right behind him.
What it does, and Santana now, don't forget about him who pitched last night.
Absolutely.
They went out and they got Santana as well. And that bumps Guthrie down to the number 2, number 3 hole. And he's going to log some innings. And, he's been around. He's a veteran. He knows how to go out there. Yep. Give you some innings. And that's, a lot of these Kansas City pitchers, everyone felt their offense was going to be fine. So they had to go out and get their pitching. Well, their pitching's number 1 in the league, and their offense has been the problem. And you have a lot of their pitchers that have not gotten the run support that needed, and you can't do anything about it if you're the pitcher, except go out there and continue to just keep your team in it.
But like the Indians, they've had enough offense that because they pitch so well, they're in a lot of games, they're around, maybe they scratch out a run late, you've got a good bullpen, it keeps it close.
They're 27-23 in one-run games, so there's 50.
You've got a better chance this way than if you're scoring 7-8 runs a game because you're not going to do that on a nightly basis.
That is so true. It is fun when you have a solid pitching staff and you just feel you're in every game. Rarely do you have blowouts or laughers and you're out of it? I mean, you're going in late into the ball game and you have a chance to win. If you get a hit or not is another thing, but at least the opportunity's there. Kansas City's a good come-from-behind team. They have, 40 come-from-behind wins because they hang around.
I mean, I'm sure you played on teams. I know you played on teams where you had pitching that wasn't very good. And if you're forced to know going in, we've got to score 5 or 6 or 7 to win.
It's tough on the long haul.
You might do it a few times. But over the course of the long season, that's going to catch up to you in a hurry.
Sure does.
2 down for Lonnie Chisenhall now after Kubel hit one right on the nose at the second baseman, Bonifacio. Jeremy Guthrie, of course, came over last year in a trade with Colorado right before the deadline, but he was a free agent. And so the Royals had to make the decision at season's end, and they chose to bring him back on a 3-year deal. So he was technically one of their off-season moves because he was a free agent. But in keeping him on board and getting Santana, getting Shields, they really fortified their rotation. Chisenhall drives one to center. Pretty well hit. Dyson back. It's over his head. Into second goes Lonnie Chisenhall with a 2-out double.
I want to check and see. He may give him an error because he coasted on that ball.
Rick, I was going to say he looked awfully nonchalant going back after that.
He did. No, that ball fooled him, and he just misplayed it. I think that's a ball he has to catch. It's a breaking ball. Even though Chisenhall hit it hard, you know what? Well, he just coasted on it. But this is a guy that can fly. It'll go as a double.
Yeah, this guy runs too well and has too much speed to coast on a ball like that.
I've watched him make too many plays in that Kansas City ballpark in center field, not for him to not catch that ball there.
Again, maybe it fooled him. Maybe he was gliding back thinking he had it all the way, and it fooled him.
94 in September 10th or 11th, whatever the date is, and that may have something to do with that ball jumping a little bit more. I don't know.
Yeah, good point. You're not used to it carrying. It hasn't all summer long. We haven't had a lot of hot weather where the ball's jumping.
If you're an outfielder, I'd play a few steps deeper today.
Now can the Indians take advantage? They got the 2-out RBI hit in the first to get on the board. Now Michael Bourne trying to snap out of a slump.
Well, he's pretty good, too, with the runners in scoring position right at 300.
Bourne 0 for his last 13 right now at the plate. Out of play. Two-two pitch. In the air to right field, routine for David Lowe. That'll end the inning. And after 2, it's Cleveland 1, Kansas City 0. 1-0 as we go to the third inning. Zach McAllister has needed just 17 pitches to cruise through the first two. His counterpart Jeremy Guthrie has labored 43 pitches through those first two innings.
Well, I like that about Zach because I told you in his last two starts he's been averaging about 20 pitches per inning.
Well, and this is one of those games where, hey, you never know how it's going to play out. But they could really use a guy to get deep into the ball game, limit the number of innings you need from your bullpen. Even with all the arms they have out there with the September call-ups. In a close game, you're still relying on the same 3 or 4 individuals you have all year long. And with the turnaround quick day game tomorrow, this would be a great game if you're ever going to have a guy get you really deep.
Yeah, he could. I would think that Cody Allen is probably done for the day because these guys have really pitched a lot on the homestand. When you think about it, you look at that bullpen. Allen's pitched in 5 games, 4 innings, 83 pitches. Smitty's been 5 games. He's gone 4 innings. Perez, he's gone 4 games in 4 innings. So they could use a break, no question about it.
Popped him up. Kipnis going out. The second baseman is there. 1 away. Elk and Elk injury report. Call 1-800-ELK Ohio. Serious lawyers for serious injuries. Justin Masterson continues to feel better with each and every day, and I think that's the best news you could hope for with that oblique injury that he suffered, is that it continues to progress and doesn't go backwards on him. And, he's got that positive outlook. I think anytime you're dealing with an injury, I think the mental side of it is very important and sometimes overlooked.
That injury couldn't have come at a worse time, though, for the Indians.
No doubt about it. But I think he feels like certainly there is a chance that he will be back before the season ends.
Well, everybody hopes so.
Two balls and a strike to count on Gerard Dyson, who had 2 hits last night, including a double. A little bit high, 3-1. Full count. Might need that.
Oh, yeah, that you don't want to do that. Throw the bat away before the ump makes the call. You may want to say, I'm sorry, I didn't hear you. Because there it is, a fastball inside. He gets the call. There goes the bat. Back in the day, they would have said, you better be swinging at this one.
Payoff pitch. Wow. Back in the day, he'd be on the bench right now.
He might have been. That'll go as the first walk.
We just talked about Justin Masterson. Katie Witham has more to add to that. Katie?
Well, Matt, Justin Masterson was originally completely shut down right after the injury happened for the first 7-8 days. He told me he was able to just start doing small exercises with the athletic trainers. The hope is to have him start to play catch when we head to Chicago. And they are still optimistic that we could see Justin Masterson back on the mound for at least one start before the season ends.
Well, that would certainly be great news. Terry Francona, to add to what Katie was saying, he just said, look, I don't want to put any undue pressure on Justin saying, hey, we think we're going to get him back. He's kind of taking the, hey, if he gets back, great. Wouldn't be surprised. We're all pulling for him, but, he's got to go at his own pace. You can't rush that injury. Well, we saw the effects of the injury with that thing. He was throwing 87 miles an hour. I mean,
right.
It's nothing to joke around about. I mean, if he can get it healed up, though.
He heard it on one of his last few pitches coming out of the bullpen.
Yeah.
Before he went into the game against Baltimore.
And he thought maybe he could just kind of sink it and guide his way through it, but it was obvious from the outset that was not going to happen.
Well, as he said, he didn't feel anything, pop or something, and he was just easing his way in it, and hopefully he got out quickly enough.
Before it blew up on him. Yeah.
Before it was too severe.
Popped him up. Left fielder Michael Brantley will make the catch, and Dyson retreats to first, 2 down. Up comes Emilio Bonifacio, who flied out his only time up in the first inning.
We'll see early. If Dyson wants to take off, now is the time to do it when you have a Bonifacio up at the plate. And Dyson on first base. And if they do, and Gomes could respond and do what he did last night, you could really start making them think twice about taking off. See, he's taking that all the way. He's given Dyson an opportunity, faking that bunt right there to take off and steal a base. That's what you do. When you got a guy that can steal a bag, you give him an opportunity. Now he's going to have to steal it on his own. He can't get any more help.
What just happened?
He balked.
What did he do? But I mean, it was like he started and then just stopped in the middle of the delivery there.
Well, let's say.
What?
What do you?
I have no idea what just happened.
Brain cramp. Heat. He had a brain cramp, that's all. So he gets second base on the balk.
Down low. 1 ball, 1 strike. Out of play. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Right now, don't worry about him. You've got 2 outs. You go after the hitter. You got a 1-2 count. He's not going to take off, and if he does, you're just trying to get the hitter.
Down and in, he wouldn't chase after it. 2 balls, 2 strikes. The 2-2. And it's up high, full count.
Well, this is the guy you want to get. You don't want to have to pitch to Hosmer. He's been their hot hitter. You want to stay away from Hosmer.
He's already thrown more pitches in this inning than he did in the first 2 combined. And the string is out on Bonifacio, with Dyson dancing around at second. Upstairs, he walked him. 2 walks in the inning. And up comes Eric Hosmer. Hosmer flied to center his first and only time up. And this guy has really been swinging it well for Kansas City. Probably the last guy you want to see up in a situation like this where he can do some damage. Last night he went 2 for 4, giving him 54 multi-hit games on the year. That's tied for the most in the American League.
Well, they have excellent speed on the bases now. And you don't want to walk those guys. Now what he's doing, he's overthrowing, really. He's opening up and that ball's going up and away.
Just looks like he's spinning off a little bit.
Yeah, you've got to come down and drive straight through it to your target. Everything's upstairs now.
Well, he's almost thrown as many balls as strikes now.
Well, since that balk call, he's thrown 6 balls out of the 7 pitches. So he's having a tough time finding the zone now. I don't know if the stretch is having anything to do with it.
Right at Cabrera. Well, that was a bullet, but he's out of the inning. Middle of the third, it remains Cleveland 1, Kansas City nothing. A reminder as you enjoy a cold one to stay tuned later in the game for Miller Time, brought to you by Miller Lite. Bottom of the third, Nick Swisher, Jason Kipnis, Carlos Santana due up for the Indians. Fouled right back. Line drive, base hit, right field.
That had to go off the end of the bat. Didn't sound very, very good. Hanging breaking ball right off the end of the bat, I think. Watch this. Yeah, breaking ball up. Now listen to it. Got a little funny. But you know what? The results are good. Take the base hit. Hit number 5 now for the Indians. First time they've had their leadoff man aboard tonight.
Jason Kipnis singled and scored in the first inning. Out of play. He had a good at bat his first time up. Got a breaking ball. Pulled it hard through the right side of the infield. Oh, that was a good pitch to hit, and Kipnis, I think he's mad.
Well, it's a changeup, and maybe he was looking fastball and he sees it well, but he just didn't pull the trigger.
Popped out of play.
Well, send along a birthday wish tonight. Ed Hosier is turning 88 today. Big Tribe fan. So, Ed, we wish you a very happy birthday from Lakewood.
Swisher draws the attention of Jeremy Guthrie. And Kipnis strikes out. Second K for Guthrie. One down here in the third. Let's get a look at tonight's trivia question brought to you by AT&T. Since 1955, one player has hit 50 or more home runs in a season without receiving an intentional walk.
Wow.
You hit that many homers, at some point somebody's going to say, what?
Yeah, let's
put him
go.
on.
I'm not going to pitch to him. You think, over the course of the year, you're right. Wow, that's a...
Mike Pachta tells us that the reason for the verbiage on that trivia question, 1955 was the first year that they used the intentional walk as a statistic.
Oh, okay. Didn't know that.
It just used to be a walk.
Okay.
Not an intentional.
So he's trying to trick us.
If I had to just throw a dart, I would say somebody like a Brady Anderson.
A leadoff hitter.
A guy who you're not thinking of as a masher, middle of the order guy.
That was one of the names that popped into my mind too. But
I'm told I missed the dartboard completely. I hit the cat. 1-1. Fouled out of play.
Well, not many guys hit 50 home runs.
Well, the other thing, too, is, you think of like Maris Mantle. Are you going to walk Maris to get the Mantle or vice versa, depending on how they're batting in the order? If you got a thumper hitting behind somebody who's having one of those years where they hit 50 homers, I could see where maybe you wouldn't. I'm getting warm.
You're on the dartboard.
I'm on the dartboard. I'm on the green. Still a long way from home, though. Indians put together 3 straight 2-out hits in the first inning. Kipnis, Santana, and then Brantley brought home Kipnis with the game's only run. 1-2 pitch. Way outside. Boy, Salvador Perez wanted that pitch. He thought he had part of the plate. Dana Demuth said it was inside, and now the count is full for Santana. Another look. You see, he's set up away, and a lot of times when you reach back across your body, even if you catch part of the plate, you just don't get the call. We see that a lot. That can't be a good feeling as a catcher when you're set up way out there and you're reaching all the way. You're
A lot of times when that happens, when you got to reach back, sometimes it's getting hit like that.
That is a bullet into right field. Swisher awkwardly hit the bag at second, but he'll make it to third without any problems. And the Indians have him at the corners with one down here in the third inning.
Second straight time that Santana has hit a rope. And I mean, this one was tattooed. He got himself another fastball. This one was down a little bit more, and he hit it harder than this first pitch. Almost got Swisher and knocked him out.
I think that's why his footwork was just a little choppy going into second base.
Yes, indeed. He heard it go by. So first and third, a good opportunity for the Tribe to get back on the board, and guess who's up?
Michael Brantley. His 60th run batted in on the year, his first time up. This was back in the first inning with two down. Right back up the middle. But as you pointed out, pitches were up and the Indians were getting on him.
He left a lot of pitches upstairs. And Brantley's that type of hitter where he uses the whole field no matter what situation he is in.
Weekly tap towards second. They get one there, and they turn the double play. That'll end the inning. And after three, it's Cleveland 1, Kansas City 0. Top of the fourth inning, the Indians still lead it by a score of 1-0.
Starting to fight, Mom saying, all right, enough.
Billy Butler will lead it off for Kansas City. Mike Moustakas and then Salvador Perez. Butler took a fastball. Kind of got him on the elbow, around the rib area. Just a two-seamer that ran in from McAllister. There's a four-seamer on the outside part of the plate. And on one pitch, McAllister has one out. All right, our AT&T U-verse rewind. We'll go back to last night. Jose Ramirez, just pure speed and hustle. Watch him at first, takes off. As soon as the third baseman let go of it, he took off for third. And on the throwback across the diamond, it got away. And he just got up and came home.
Yeah, that was all hustle. You don't see that too often at the big league level. But, I mean, he didn't hesitate. He just continued to go around. He got his first major league hit. He was probably so pumped up he didn't want to stop. But I'll tell you what, that was the second run of the game, and it was a big one for the Indians at that point in time.
I like what Terry Francona said of Ramirez, you could see a guy playing with just pure passion and joy last night. He was running around like he was 12 years old playing in Little League.
And what's wrong with that? There's nothing wrong with that. It's fun to see.
Strike called. 1-2 the count on Mike Moustakas, who after banging into a double play in the second inning is now 0 for his last 15.
He got off to such a horrendous start this year. And then, back a few months ago when we were playing them, he started to pick it up. He started to get hot. But, sometimes when you get off to a rough start, it is really tough to recover.
Yeah, even with the 0 for 15.
Because you're fighting it all year long. Look at 215 in the first half.
Strikes him out. His struggles continue. 2 down here in the inning. And we'll go back downstairs to Katie Witham, who has more on the Jose Ramirez story from last night.
Well, Ramirez impressed all of his teammates back in spring training. Mike Aviles told me he has an unbelievable demeanor, and if you didn't know he was 20, you would never guess it from the way that he carries himself. Last night he said he did not get nervous. He has great vision, as you could see that on the bases. He forces teams to make perfect plays, and what you saw from him last night, that energy, the entire dugout fed off of.
Well, and Katie, I mentioned it earlier. You said that Mike Aviles was talking to him during the game, in between innings, helping him out because he hasn't played a lot of third base, and that goes to more of how this entire team has a very selfless attitude about it.
Oh, yeah, they definitely do. And in between multiple innings, those two were talking a lot. Aviles told me today that not only was he asking him about third base, but also the pitcher, the catcher, when would he be more likely to throw. So they all help each other out.
Thanks, Katie. Great play by Michael Brantley to end the inning. 1-2-3 go the Royals. 1-0 Cleveland, middle of the fourth. FoxSportsOhio.com. Are the Indians legit playoff contenders? Which Akron Arrows players stood out this season? And how do the Blue Jackets stack up in their division? Get complete coverage of all today's action involving Ohio sports on FoxSportsOhio.com. For the Indians here in the bottom of the fourth, Cabrera, Gomes, and Kubel. Salvador Perez just getting out behind the plate for the final warm-up toss or two after he almost extended the inning for Kansas City. Took one deep down that line, but boy, Brantley got on his horse and got after it.
He made a nice running catch. I think that ball was a little bit off the end of his bat, too. He didn't drive that ball.
He's had a very good season for Kansas City, and they're just happy that he's been able to stay healthy, go out there and play every day.
The year before he had the knee surgery, they missed him behind the plate. Boy, this guy, he's going to be a good player for them for a long time.
A strike is called.
See, it's a little different there. He took that pitch, first pitch. As you said, he's been aggressive. There's nobody on base.
A little bit low, 1 ball, 1 strike. Rick, I'm sure you've seen good hitters over the years who, when they get in RBI situations, they don't need a strike to get the barrel to it and to drive in a run, though.
Yeah.
So they'll expand their strike zone because they know they can get the run in an RBI situation.
RBI guys, they're tough to find. They're good when you have one. I mean, they know. It seems like anytime they get in a situation and they swing at the first pitch, they hit it and get the job done. If not, they work it deep and they get into good hitters counts. I mean, it's an art.
He only spent a year here, but that to me, when I think back of Juan Gonzalez, that's what I think of. When it came to RBI situations, he wasn't looking for a ball down the middle. Cabrera turns on a ball, low, charges in. Did he hold it? No, the ball skips free, and Cabrera holds with a leadoff single.
First break Cabrera's had in a while.
Well, you're not kidding.
You know, he wouldn't have caught that ball anyway. That short hopped him. He was coming in, and he was thinking of diving for it, and then continued to run on, and then makes a short hop. I knew that ball hopped. You either dive for it or you lay back on it. Once you commit, you've got to commit and keep coming. He did, and you hold him to a single. You just have to keep that ball in front of you, and he kept it close enough to Cabrera will get the single.
So the Indians get their leadoff man aboard. Yan Gomes comes up now. Gomes struck out swinging his first time up. Taylor made another double play ball. 2 innings in a row. So Jeremy Guthrie's got the 2-for-1 ball working here tonight. We'll go back to the studios for an in-game update with Al Pawlowski.
Hey, Matt and Rick, let's go to Baltimore. Yankees taking on the Orioles tonight, and so far it's been 1 run. This by Alex Rodriguez. He hits it to left center field. That's a base hit. It'll score a run, the only run of the game thus far. So the Yankees lead Baltimore 1-0 in the 4th.
All right, thanks, Al. Jason Kubel lined out his first time up.
Kubel coming into the night was 9 for 25 with a couple of homers and 7 ribbies off of Guthrie. I'm sure that's why he's in right field. Some success against the right-hander.
There's a long drive, deep right field, low back on the track. It makes the catch. Does he hold on? Yes, he does.
Nice catch.
Boy, that was a terrific play by Lowe. And that ends the inning. 4 complete. It remains Cleveland 1, Kansas City 0. the wireless receiver only from AT&T Uverse. Rethink possible. And by your local Toyota dealers. Toyota, let's go places. A warm evening here in downtown Cleveland. It's a 1-0 Indians lead as we go to the 5th inning. 94 degrees at game time. And a reminder, programming note, for those of you watching at home, we'll be on the air tomorrow. It's a 12 o'clock start as the Indians conclude their second to last homestand of the season.
Well, guess who gets the lead off?
David Lowe, of course.
Of course, the guy that made the nice catch to end the inning.
Funny, too, you know, we always talk about sports being always being an opportunity for redemption, or, you know, you always have that opportunity if you make a mistake or you don't make a play. There's always a chance you'll get an opportunity to do it. In that inning, Lowe made a diving attempt, couldn't make the play, short-hopped it, but then he comes up with this dandy to end the inning.
He sure does. I mean, this is a tough play. Line drive over your head, the way it's carried. That ball got deep down, right near his face. He ended up making a catch.
Almost want to say it
right
caught him
next to his ear. But he had a good path to the baseball, so he just had to make sure you pick it up and get it into the glove. He does. But with his out, now that makes 11 hitters for McAllister with 3 pitches or less.
Alcides Escobar popped up on the infield, his only time up. One ball, one strike to count on Alcides Escobar. Out of play. Escobar down on the count, a ball and 2 strikes. He's 1 for 4 in the series. Just a bit outside.
This is a guy, when he is on his game, he can handle just about any pitch. He can hit a ball about a foot off the plate and put it in play if he has to. He had an at-bat last night where you have to move the runner from second to third, and he fought a pitch off just to nub it out in front of the plate, but got the job done.
I can't believe he's actually struck out 72 times this year.
Tough year for him.
That one is drilled deep left field, and goodbye. That'll tie the game, and I mean way out of here for Alcides Escobar. Not a power guy, it's just his 4th home run of the year. But a no doubt about it blast, and we're even at 1.
Yeah, there was no question about that when he flipped the bat. And you can see how this ball is jumping tonight. He missed it inside. He turns on it, and the little guys, as we call them little guys, they still, if you get it into their wheelhouse, can find the little power, and he does. It's a tie ball game. That's just the 2nd hit for Kansas City.
Bunt. Combs went to a slide, and he had to avoid the leaping Chisenhall, who leapfrogged over top of him. And a bunt single for Dyson.
Well, that's part of his game right there, speed. Chisenhall's in a couple of steps from the bag, and he just laid down a perfect bunt. He deadened it beautifully. There was no way Gomes would have got him, even if Chisenhall wasn't in the way. And he was in front of the bag. That's a perfect bunt.
That brings up Alex Gordon 0 for 2 on the night. He's flied out twice. Takes a strike on the breaking ball.
He was leaning. He had a little flinch. I think he was thinking of running there.
Well, the last time he was on, McAllister balked him to second base.
True.
Oh, that looked awfully good. Didn't get the call. 1-1. He was trying to just paint one on the outside corner.
He has a lot of run to his ball. It's never straight. That's a four-seam fastball.
Telling us now that's Alcides Escobar's first home run since he homered against the Indians earlier in the year. The ball gets away from Swisher. Not a real good throw.
Second straight time he's let him go to second base. One by balk, one by an error.
Nick never really had a chance on this.
No, he doesn't. I mean, that throw is right up into the runner. You worry too much about them. Good base stealers are going to get their bases.
Well, you've got a catcher who's doing a tremendous job behind the plate. Just let him do his job, really.
Trust him. Trust him.
Well, you've got Gordon with a runner in scoring position now, as you did back in the third inning. Our score, a pair of solo homers, a solo homer by the Royals, and the 2-out RBI single by Brantley for the Indians way back in the first. The only runs so far tonight. McAllister ready. Now time called. Fouled back, 1-2. Gordon upset with himself. Chasing that pitch out of the zone. Upstairs, 2-2. Red Sox and Rays scoreless in the fourth down in Tampa. Yankees still lead Baltimore 1-0 in the fifth.
Hold on to it. He's going to give him third if he keeps throwing it. With that error by McAllister, the Indians pitchers have 16 errors this year, which is most in baseball in the AL.
Out of play. Of those 16 errors, I wonder how many of them are just simply throwing errors.
I'm sure a lot of them. Pick off at first, second.
We know at least one of them was a bad scorer's decision on that play in Baltimore where Kazmir threw a perfect strike to second. The ball just didn't get caught, but
that
he was charged with an error.
Right.
It just seems kind of funny. You're a pitcher and you get the throwing error, you know. Strike three called. A beautiful breaking ball locked him up over the outside corner. Second strikeout for McAllister, and it comes at a very good time.
Yes, it does. Right on the outside edge. They call that the backdoor breaking ball, and it stays right out there, comes down into the zone. Gordon didn't like it, but it was a good pitch. He started him off with a breaking ball. He finished him with a breaking ball. Hopefully he gets a feel for that breaking ball.
Emilio Bonifacio for 1 with a walk.
They're going through the lineup for the 3rd time. And it continues to go up when you're talking to Zach McAllister. First time through, hitters are hitting 211 off him. Second time, it's 247. Third time, it's 322.
First time through tonight, Royals had 1 hit. Second time through, they had 2. In the gap, Bourne, a long run. He makes the catch and hangs on. Sprinting into the left center field gap, Michael Bourne. With a game saver right there, we stay tied at 1. For the Indians, Lonnie Chisenhall, Michael Bourne, and Nick Swisher due up. Lonnie Chisenhall with a double his first time up. He hit one a straightaway center field that carried over the head of Gerard Dyson. Takes a strike. One on one to count. Rip foul right side. Well, it seems like everywhere you've got playoff implications tonight. Low scoring. Boston, Tampa scoreless. They're in the 4th. That New York, Baltimore, it's a 1-0 game there. Then a 5th inning. We're 1-1 here in the 5th.
Pittsburgh, Texas, zip.
Boy, that was a heck of a game last night. I saw the highlights this morning. Garrett Cole of the Pirates shut out Texas over, I think, 7 or 8 innings. Bullpen finished the job 1-0. How many 1-0 games have you ever seen in Texas?
Oh, tough place to do it. I'm sure there hasn't been many.
Ripped toward left center field. It is dropping for a base hit. Escobar made a good effort on the ball. But Lonnie Chisenhall is now 2 for 2. On the night, the Indians had their leadoff man aboard for the 3rd straight inning.
The double play has diffused the last 2 innings, though. That's the thing. He gets inside on Chisenhall here, and he just flares it out. Good effort here by Escobar to jump out of his reach. It'll go as a base hit, so Chisenhall 2 for 2.
Well, this is a guy the Indians have to get going. Michael Bourne. Up high, ball 1. Bourne got off to a great start for the Indians. He hit .333 the first month of the season, .288 in May, .292 in June. But then just .247 in July, followed by .219 in August. And so far in the month of September, he's hitting just 129.
Well, that's not good. That's going south.
And he's too important at the top of the lineup. Line right at the shortstop, and easy out, one away. Our in-game recap won't take long. Brought to you by your local Toyota dealers. Michael Brantley's 2-out RBI single in the first made it 1-0 in favor of the Tribe, and then Alcides Escobar jerked a solo homer out of the home run porch in the fifth to tie it. Nick Swisher taking a strike. One on one the count. Chisenhall hurries back to first. Close play.
He got tangled up with his footwork. He tried to get an extra step, and then he went back with the other leg he was stepping with, instead of like just a quick crossover.
Fly ball low on the move will make the catch. 2 down.
Well, you can guarantee playoff ticket priority with a deposit on 2014 season tickets. Plus, season ticket holders also receive discounts on single game tickets and access to Tribe rewards. Visit Indians.com for more details.
Jason Kipnis, 1 for 2 tonight. Singled and scored the only run for the Tribe in the first. Upstairs with it, 2-0.
Well, in his first 2 at-bats, Guthrie has thrown one inside to back him off the plate. I don't know if he can do that now in a 2-0 count.
Went to the outside corner. A check swing foul. 2-2. Foul ball got a piece of Perez, so Dana DeMuth going to give him a moment to gather himself. Chisenhall, modest lead at first with 2 down. One hop smash to second. It knocked Bonifacio down. But he'll throw out Kipnis to end the inning. 5 in the books, tied at 1. Check out Fox Sports Live with Jay Onrait and Dan O'Toole, alongside Donovan McNabb, Gary Payton, Andy Roddick, and Carissa Thompson. They'll bring you all you need to know about the world of sports. Fox Sports Live airs nightly on Fox Sports 1. Zach McAllister goes to work here in the 6th inning. 65 pitches on the night. 38 of those have been strikes. He's given up just the 1 run on the solo homer by Alcides Escobar. The Royals only have 3 hits in the game. And a strike to Eric Hosmer, who is 0 for 2. Breaking ball fouled right back. 0 and 2. Just a little bit high. Upstairs, he misses, and it's a full count. Again, he misses, and he walks him. He had him down 0-2.
Yep, 0-2 to a walk.
Let's get the answer now to the AT&T trivia question. Since 1955, one player has hit 50 or more in a season without an intentional walk.
Well, you were off the dartboard with your first guess, so go with your second guess.
Well, I was thinking Maris Mantle. I don't know who batted in front of who in that order. Roger Maris.
He batted in front of Mantle.
Well, you got Mickey Mantle behind you. How many times are you going to walk Roger Maris, right?
I guess none. Not that year.
Not intentionally, anyway. Ripped fair. Down into the corner it goes. Hosmer on his way to second. Now digging for third. He'll stop there as Billy Butler lumbers into second base with his 25th double of the year. And now McAllister's in trouble. Second and third, nobody out.
Well, Butler a guy, and he leaves that ball up and in. Good pitch for him to turn on. He uses the whole field as well, so that was not a good pitch by McAllister as he roped it down into the corner. For Butler, a guy that normally has a ton of doubles, he has 25 now on the year. It's second and third, nobody out. And Kansas City threatening.
Outside ball 1. Mike Moustakas has hit into a double play and struck out. Back out of play. Tribe's bullpen just about to start getting some activity. As McAllister zeroes in on his 75th pitch of the night, you see the right-hander Shaw, the lefty Nick Hagedorn. Upstairs, 2-1. Ripped, and that's fair. Mike Moustakas snaps an 0 for 16 slump, driving in a couple of runs with a double here in the 6th. Back-to-back doubles for the Royals. They lead it 3-1.
And you're going to see another pitch. It's upstairs by McAllister. And they're taking advantage of it. That third time through has been a tough go for him. It's elevated. Everything was up. The pitch to Butler was up. And the key to this inning, he had Hosmer down in the count 0-2 and ended up walking him. And now 3 straight have reached. And it's a 3-1 ball game. And out comes Mickey Callaway.
Well, the Royals finally breaking through here in the 6th inning. Their first 3 have all reached. There's still nobody out. And Salvador Perez is coming to the plate.
Yeah, he's given up 5 hits today as McAllister. 3 of the 5 have been extra base hits, but he has been upstairs when they've gotten to him. So see if he can minimize the damage and get through this inning and keep it a 3-1 ball game.
Perez singled in the 2nd, fly to deep left in the 4th. Outside corner, it's a called strike. Up the middle, and that's through. Another base hit coming around third. Moustakas will score. 4-1 Royals. 3 home here in the 6th. Still nobody out. For Perez, RBI number 67 on the year. Didn't hit it hard, but he just shot it right through the middle of the infield.
Yeah, and it's a breaking ball up. Everything has been up in this inning. When he gets up, he speeds up and can't get the ball down, and that's going to do it for McAllister. The first 4 reach in the 6th inning. 3rd time through, they got him.
You gained the numbers. 3rd time through the order. Had not been good for McAllister, and tonight they knock him out here in the 6th inning. Today's Cleveland Clinic call to the bullpen. I believe it's going to be the left-hander Nick Hagedorn coming on when we come back. Have opened it up with 3 here in the 6th. Still nobody out. What's happened to McAllister here?
Well, if you just look and everything is elevated, you get a good look at it by Kansas City hitters. Anything up above the belt, these guys are going to get after. And I'm telling you, they did some damage to it. Everything. He tried the breaking ball, and the key to this inning was the 0-2 walk to Hosmer. He had him down in the count. He couldn't put him away. You walk him. Next thing you know, Butler doubled, and everything stayed upstairs, and he left everything upstairs. And I mean, the hitters tell you.
Well, they sent him to the early exit here tonight. David Lowe will be coming up now for Kansas City. He's 0 for 2 on the night. Nick Hagedorn, 33rd appearance of the year. Upstairs, ball one. Swung on and missed. Well, if you look at this statistic that the Indians have on Nick Hagedorn, it tells you everything you need to know about the left-hander. When batters are behind in the count, they are 1 for 39 against him.
Well, he has a tough time repeating that delivery and consistently staying ahead. He can go lights out sometimes, you know, with a good fastball, a good curveball, but he just doesn't do it on a consistent basis. And I don't know if it's mechanically where he's, his arm slot, it's repeating that delivery. He just has a hard time doing it. His arm, he's got a great arm. Left-hander throws 95 and a breaking ball, come on. A lot of people would die for that.
Swung on and missed. There's another case. He gets ahead. He puts the batter away, 1 down.
Well, next, I should say September 20th, which will be a Friday, we return home and play the Houston Astros. It'll be a $1 dog night, so log on to Indians.com and get your tickets.
Now Alcides Escobar homered his last time up. And a fastball strike. Breaking ball. I mean, right now we're seeing it. We're seeing Nick Hagedorn throwing the ball exceptionally well. And when he can throw it 94 with the fastball and then come back with a breaking ball that's got that kind of depth to it where it just bites straight down on the hitter, I mean, that's why he'll continue to get opportunities, because the Indians know it's in there. Can they get him to consistently produce?
Well, if they ever can, and if he ever does get it and the light goes off for him, he'd be good in the back end of a bullpen. You know, we watched Matt Thornton for years.
That's the guy that comes to mind.
With the Chicago White Sox, where he came in and threw high fastballs. He didn't throw much of a breaking ball anyway.
Not as good as this guy.
Recently, yeah. As the years went on, and he pitched for a long time coming out of that Seattle organization. And, I mean, he was very good for a long time.
Left field, Brantley there. 2 down. Back to the Hyundai Studios we go for an in-game update with Al Pulaski.
All right, Matt, let's head back to Baltimore, where Chris Davis continues his trek to be the home run king this year. This is his 49th of the year. It was a 2-run shot to right center. Put the O's ahead at the time, 4-1. Then Mark Reynolds hit a 2-run homer in the top of the 6th for New York. It's a 1-run game once again. Matt?
All right, thanks, Al. Indians find themselves down 3 here in the top half of the 6th inning. Gerard Dyson will be the batter. Evens it up in 1-1. Eight out of the 10 pitches Nick has thrown here have been strikes. Now it's 2-1. Good fastball. I mean, he's got good life on it.
Well, there's
jumping on the hitters in a hurry.
A situation where you 2-1 count to, your ninth place hitter. He knows he's going to get a fastball. He put a good swing on it and fouled it off. And this is a guy that with a short swing.
Yeah. Two down, runner at first, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Swing and a miss, he struck him out. Nick Hagedorn, very effective tonight, retires 3 in a row. But the Royals jump out to a 4-1 lead. Jim Donovan, Doug Deacon, and Tony Grossi bring you all the latest news from Berea and look ahead to the team's first road game in Baltimore on Sunday Strategy. That's tomorrow at 10 on Sports Time Ohio. Tribe needs to get the offense rolling here. We go to the 6th inning, bottom half. They're down 3. They have 8 hits on the night, but Guthrie has been able to get a couple of key double play balls. And let's see, 3, 4. 4 of those 8 hits for the Indians have come after there were 2 men out.
Yeah, all 3 in the first inning. 1 in the second.
One and one the count.
Santana's hit a couple right on the nose today. That's why he is 2 for 2. That's why Bonifacio's playing deep at second, because they were both by him.
Pulls it foul. Last night, Santana hit that line drive homer off the pole. And his first 2 at-bats tonight. Hard hit balls through the right side of the infield. So that's 3 straight at-bats. He is really barreling it up.
With authority.
Yes, Marv.
Didn't know if you were paying attention. It's not that type of season yet. You got to wait a while.
It won't be long.
No, that's true.
Two and two the count. Good eye laying off, full count. Kelvin Herrera just now getting loose in Kansas City's bullpen as Guthrie, you see in the upper left-hand corner of your screen, just shy of 90 pitches so far tonight. Hard hit ball again, but this time Hosmer will make the play, 1 down.
Well, if you'd like to take a break from Cleveland during the wintertime, you might want to come out to sunny Arizona. You can spend it with the Indians out there. They have 3 spring training travel plans for one-of-a-kind experience. Just call 1-855-298-5444.
Michael Brantley to the plate. First pitch breaking ball, and it drops in for a strike. Brantley with a base hit into right field.
Came back with another one, and Michael was ready for it that time. He gets his second hit, 9th hit for the Indians. Back-to-back breaking balls this time, or that was a changeup. But off speed. Took advantage of it.
Well, up comes Asdrubal Cabrera, who flied out in the first, then singled in the fourth. Plays off, it's low, ball 1. That's not a play, and the count is 1-1. Brantley dives back in. Popped him straight up behind the plate. And Perez back to the screen, but no, he won't get to it. So Cabrera stays alive for the moment, down 1-2 in the count. Jason Kipnis and Carlos Santana have each hit 32 doubles on the year. Asdrubal Cabrera is third on the team with 30.
Take a double right now.
Boy, he had one to hit. But at 95 miles an hour, all he could do is foul it back. So Guthrie reaching back, figuring that it's time to empty the tank with that bullpen busy behind him. And he geared up. Comes back with the off-speed pitch and just missed inside. Brantley held by Hosmer. Outfield straight up, deep. Two balls and two strikes. A warm, muggy evening here at the ballpark. Royals on top 4-1 as the Indians try to battle back. Another double play ball. Incredible. Third time tonight the Indians have hit into a twin killer. 6 complete. It's still 4-1 Kansas City. By Panini's with 18 locations in Northeast Ohio. And by Levin. Get a look in at the ballpark from our Panini cam, brought to you by Panini's Bar and Grill. It's a 4-1 Kansas City lead. And the Royals will have the top of the order coming up here in the 7th. Gordon, Bonifacio, and Hosmer to face Nick Hagedorn. In for a strike. Gordon flied to deep right in the first, flied to left in the third, called out on strikes in the 5th. Big bouncer to first. It's a fair ball. Behind the bag, Swisher drops it, recovers, throws. Not in time. And it will go as an infield single for Alex Gordon.
Now that ball was right over the bag. Swisher did a nice job to get there, but when he went to make the throw, it came out of his glove. It's a nice pick. And in the transfer, it fell. And I don't think Hagedorn would have been there. His steps were, he was getting his momentum going if he caught it cleanly. And for the first throw. And in the transfer, Nick lost it. So it'll go as an infield single for Gordon.
And it will bring up Emilio Bonifacio, who is 0 for 2 on the night. Walked back in the third inning. Taps it foul. That's hit foul, and that's going to get out of play. Nick Hagedorn has been on the attack. He's thrown 14 out of 17 pitches, 4 strikes. He had Gordon leaning, but he's able to get back in time. Fisted foul, back out of play. Eric Hosmer waits on deck. He walked and scored in the Royals' 3-run 6th inning. Another toss over, but Gordon dove on top of the bag.
Well, he didn't have a big lead. I don't even know why he dove back. He was only 2.5 steps off the base.
(4-1), Kansas City leads it. They bat here in the 7th. Their leadoff man is aboard. Bonifacio still down on the count, 0-2. Out in front of the plate, Gomes pounces on it. Throws out Bonifacio, 1 away. Gordon down to second base. Let's go downstairs and check in once again with Katie.
Well, the Indians are making a push for the postseason, and the only way to guarantee yourself playoff ticket priority is to put a deposit down on 2014 season tickets. Remember, season ticket holders get a discount off single game tickets and access to Tribe Rewards. You can get all the information online now at Indians.com. Matt.
Thanks, Katie. The 2014 schedule earlier today officially released.
Yes, it was.
Indians will open the 2014 season in Oakland, 3 games, and then come right home. Bounced towards first base. Swisher has it. He'll flip it. Hagedorn didn't beat him to the bag.
He was late getting there and didn't run a very good angle.
Eric Hosmer beat that out for an infield hit.
Well, yeah, Swisher had to go for the ball. And then when you watch Hagedorn, let's watch him off the mound. 1, 2, and there's not a good, it was about a beat too slow. He never got there.
Looked like he slowed up a couple steps in front of the bag looking for the throw.
Yeah, he beat it easily.
Today's Cleveland Clinic call to the bullpen. Nick Hagedorn departs, and KCA Lee is coming on when we come back. The only three that he faced struck out a pair. But here in this inning, a weird inning in that two infield hits on weird plays towards first base. And now the Royals with a chance to really take command of the game. First and third, only one out. KCA Lee on for just the fourth time this year.
Well, coming on to face Billy Butler. This is going to be a tough at-bat here for Lee. You know, with Hagedorn there, the one transfer coming out of Swisher's glove, he made a nice stop, and he just in the transfer that he couldn't do anything about. But he could do something about the Hosmer play where he didn't get to first base to cover in time. So it's first and third with one out in Kansas City, an opportunity to score again.
KCA Lee is a guy the Indians really like. His first stint with the big league club came against the Kansas City Royals, made his major league debut, and pitched 3 scoreless innings. Came back from Tommy John surgery and spent the first couple of months this year on the DL. 1-1. Hit in the air to right field. Back goes Kubel. He'll make the catch. Tagging at third and coming home to score is Alex Gordon. And the Royals lead it 5-1. 2 down in the inning. Butler picks up RBI number 75 on the year. Up comes Mike Moustakas, who snapped an 0 for 16 slump with a 2-run double in the 6th that put Kansas City ahead in the game. To left field, right at Brantley. The inning is over. Royals tack on a run. They lead it 5-1. Time now for the 7th inning stretch. Brought to you by Spitzer Auto World. Life is hard. Buying a car shouldn't be. Get all the inside information on your team on Browns Insider with Rob Chudzinski. Thursday night after Indians Live on the cable home of the Browns, Sports Time, Ohio. Well, Jeremy Guthrie's night is over after 6 innings of work. He gave up just 1 run. Kelvin Herrera coming on for Kansas City. We told you before, the Royals statistically were the best bullpen in the league. They can throw some power arms at you.
This guy has a tremendous arm. He can get it up there in the mid to high 90s. He's got a nice changeup, a breaking ball. His problem earlier in the year, they thought this guy was going to be their closer. Gave up a few home runs early in the year. And he ended up going back to the minor leagues, but coming back, and they get him straightened out. We saw him, was it last year or 2 years ago, where he's got a special arm. You better turn the dial up for him.
Yan Gomes, Jason Kubel, Lonnie Chisenhall for the Indians. Swung on and missed. What's really hurt the Indians tonight is the double play ball. 3 times they have banged into a double play that has wiped out any potential for a rally. The most they've hit into this year was 4, July 2nd, against Kansas City. They also did it one other time this year, but that's ripped foul. I was just going to look to see, was that Guthrie that pitched in that game too? No, he pitched the next day.
$100. Yeah.
Yeah, he can rush it up there.
I think he's loose, and it doesn't take long to get loose tonight. He has a changeup that's about 89, 90.
Another fastball and another foul back by Gomes, and what a catch. How about that guy in the front row of the club seat section, the Collection Auto Club? Just reached up, grabbed it like it was no big deal.
He did. He had a good meal and made a nice catch. Go home with a souvenir.
There's the off-speed pitch, and that just missed low, 1-2. Wants another changeup. Down low with it. 2-2 the count. He wants to go 3 straight changeups. And Gomes rips it into left field, a base hit.
Well, he did, and he paid for it.
I think Perez is upset because it was the catcher who wanted the fastball.
Yeah.
He went fastball in, fastball away, and got shook off both times. Herrera wanted the changeup.
Well, you see, catchers are sometimes smarter than pitchers. They say, you know what, let's go with that number, 197, 98, whatever. But then 3 straight changeups, and Gomes put a really good swing on it. It was down, and he drilled it to left field. So their leadoff hitter aboard. And now Perez wants to go talk to him.
Yep, probably went out.
What are you doing?
Go with your best pitch.
Listen
right
to
there.
me.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes, and ultimately the pitcher has to make the final decision because he's got to be, absolutely sure he wants to throw the pitch that he wants to throw to get it there. But, those catchers, come on, let's not give hitters too much credit. When you're throwing 97, 98, what are you messing around for? Especially with 3 straight.
Yeah. I can see one to take him off and maybe to double him up, but 3 in a row.
He may not see one in this at-bat.
Well, it's just like I've always heard that saying that a bad pitch thrown with 100% conviction is better than a good pitch thrown with half conviction. And that's the whole thing with pitchers. You want to make sure that he's throwing what he believes in, and that's why catchers always yield to the pitcher unless there's
they have to,
extenuating
but that's why he
circumstances.
You're right, and then he had to go talk. Look, fastball away? No. Fastball in? No. Okay, you want to go with your changeup? Sometimes you got to let them go out and get hit around if that happens. They don't want to see it.
Things happen. Kubel blown away by the fastball. He followed his catcher's advice that time. Stays on the express train, 1 away. Let's go back to the Hyundai Studios for another update with Al.
All right, Matt, let's head down to St. Petersburg. Boston taking on Tampa Bay. Price against Buchholz, and the Red Sox get to Price here in the 5th. Gomes an RBI base hit. They added another run. They're up now 2-0 in the 7th. Buchholz tonight, 5 shutout innings, 6 strikeouts. Matt?
Well, you look at the wild card standings coming into play tonight. Tampa Bay just a game and a half in front of both the Indians and the Orioles. Then New York, followed by Kansas City. Time called is the manager and trainer coming out to check on Kelvin Herrera. I don't know if it's a blister issue, a finger problem.
Well, they're looking down at the hand, aren't they?
A couple of guys are laughing, so.
Well, there it is, a good fastball. And let's see what he does after that pitch. Wipe this, yeah, he's looking, maybe a nail. Maybe split a nail right there.
Nick Kenny, one-time Indians trainer, is out there. He's the head man in Kansas City. He's checking him out. I guess he's good to go.
They'll have to schedule him a manicure for tomorrow to get that fixed. Little tough nail put on there, and
no Lee press on nails.
No, we got to go a little pine tar, a little rosin. Going to take a couple throws to see how it feels. He's saying, yeah, I'm good.
Well, I mean, the last pitch he threw was 100 miles an hour, wasn't it? How bad could it be?
Well, the seam must hurt when you have that much torque on your finger.
You think?
Yeah.
Lonnie Chisenhall is 2 for 2 on the night with a double and a single. That's with a runner aboard and 1 out here in the 7th inning. Takes low, ball 1. You know, we were talking before about pitchers, catchers getting on the same page, maybe not always agreeing on the pitch selection they want. Recently, Yu Darvish and A.J. Pierzynski had an incident on the mound during a game. It got pretty heated. And you know how, over the years watching A.J., he can be pretty stubborn at times. But he's, a veteran. He's been around a long time. Anyway, next time Darvish is scheduled to pitch, A.J.'s DHing for some reason.
No kidding.
And Ron Washington said, no comment. I'm not talking about
this.
He's
he's got to stay out of the middle of it. You're right. I did see that because Darvish doesn't like people to go out there and interrupt him when he's pitching.
Almost hit him. Wow, I don't know how he got out of the way.
I don't
it was
either.
Right bearing in on him.
Because, you know what? He just reacted. That's all. You don't get out of the way. He was lucky enough that he picked it up, and he just spins. You do not want to get hit by that pitch.
Fouled right back. 2-2. Anyway, for his part, A.J. said, look, we talked. It's over. No big deal. We disagreed. We had a heated moment. It happens in the heat of battle.
Sure,
but
it does.
We're fine. And, Washington probably felt like, maybe we'll give him a start apart. Let him cool a little bit.
You
go to that
you're
corner.
Suspended
you
for
go to
one
this
game.
corner.
You're going to DH, and we're going to catch somebody else.
2-2. Fouled away.
But that's okay. To me, that's all well and good. You don't have to agree every time. And you know what? When you're pitching in this game, Brzezinski's been in the American League. He knows the hitters pretty well, you would think, as a catcher. But if Darvish wants to throw what he wants to throw, you're not going to tell him what he can't throw.
Well, remember, A.J. Brzezinski was behind the plate when he almost no-hit Houston. When
he had perfect games going.
Yeah.
Right.
2-2 to Chisenhall. Slaps at it, fouls it away.
That's been around for 100 years, and it's going to stay around for 100 years. Catchers feel like they know what's going on, and a pitcher says, I'm not throwing that. That's just baseball. Nothing wrong with arguing or disagreeing or getting through it. Just, hey, I've seen pitchers and catchers fight in the dugout over things like that before.
We did, too, a few years ago. Victor Martinez and Cliff Lee.
Yeah,
they got after it down in Texas.
Yes.
Must be something about that heat. Makes them crazy. Chisenhall scorches a single into center field. Gomes on his way to third. Lonnie stops at first with his third hit of the night. So the Indians' number 9 hitter is a perfect 3 for 3. And the Indians trying to work their way back in it now, first and third with only 1 out.
Well, that's what you have to do is string a couple. He got that fastball down for Lonnie, and Lonnie likes the ball down and put a nice swing on it for a line drive. That's what they had to do. And Gomes will go to third base, so they have first and third, and out comes the trainer again. Now they probably will make a move if this is going to be the second time. Looking at that finger again. Get a pinch runner now for Chisenhall at first. Ramirez going into the ball game.
Well, he says he's okay.
I mean, what are they doing? Keep running out there. We're going to give Nick Kenny a little a hat with a siren on top where he can go out there.
It's making an ambulance run again.
Yeah, no kidding, with the Red Cross thing on his sleeve.
All right, so Jose Ramirez is running for Lonnie Chisenhall at first base. The tying run is still on deck.
Yeah, but this is time. You're running out of outs. You want to get on the board, and hopefully with more than one here in this inning.
Michael Bourne looks at a ball outside. In the air, left field. Gordon on the run. Dice can't make the play. It gets by. Gomes scores. Here comes Ramirez. Here's the throw. He is safe. Michael Bourne delivers with a 2-run double to left field. Bourne snaps an 0 for 15, and the Indians are right back in it now, down 5-3. A tremendous effort by Alex Gordon. He completely laid out for that ball, but could not get to it.
Well, Herrera supplied the power. He just challenged him with a fastball, and Bourne happened to get the barrel head of that bat out. Great effort, as you said, by Gordon. So Gomes scores easily, and look at Ramirez coming around. He had to wait to make sure he wasn't going to catch it. But with his speed, he beats the throw home. It's a 5-3 game, and now the Indians will get a tying run coming to the plate.
Well, how about this, Rick? Mike Moustakas snapped an 0 for 16 in this game with a 2-run double. And now Bourne snaps an 0 for 15 with a 2-run double.
Yeah.
And Bourne is perfect in his career against Kelvin Herrera, 3 for 3. He knocks Herrera out of the ball game. We've got a timeout with the tying run coming to the plate when we come back. He looked like he was having issues with a fingernail problem or something during the inning, but this was the double by Michael Bourne, put a good swing on it. Gordon just can't quite get to it, completely lays out. And then watch Jose Ramirez. What a great move now, looking back to pinch run.
Yeah. You need that speed. You're down. You need every opportunity, and the kid can come around. He outran it home. So that's a 2-run double, and they needed it badly. Still just 1 out. They're bringing in Luke Hochshaver, who was a starter for him last year, but is having a great year out of the bullpen for him this year.
Boy, is he ever.
Yes.
4-2 with a 1.74 ERA.
Yeah, 62 innings, 67 strikeouts. And we saw this guy. He was the #1 pick overall for Kansas City, and they expected him to develop, and he was their #1 starter after they traded Greinke. And I'll tell you what, he's found a home in the bullpen.
Nick Swisher, 3 for 16 in his career against Hochshaver with a home run. Nick, the tying run at the plate. And a swing and a miss. Swisher 1 for 3 on the night. Swisher waves at it.
He's got a dynamite slider, man. This guy has always had a good slider. Always. I mean, when you watch this, when he pitched as a starter and he had that pitch working, he was in for a great game.
The 0-2. Down and in. Bourne and the runner at second base. Strike 3 called, and Swisher showing him where it was in off the plate. Normally, an umpire will run a hitter for just that kind of a outward display, but
well, let's take a look at this pitch and see what you think. He goes inside after those sliders that were coming down and in. From that angle, it could be a little inside. That's a tough one. He gets the call, though, and you know what? You see, he's looking right down, seeing that ball was inside. From that camera angle, it's tough because it's not directly behind the pitcher. I'll tell you what, though, it's a tough pitch. No matter how, even if it's called a ball, it's a good pitch by Hochshaver.
Perez had something he wanted to say to Hochshaver before he goes to work against Kipnis. Kipnis is 1 for 3 on the night, with a single and a run scored back in the first inning. He's had good career success against Hochshaver. Four for 12 in his career with a double. Swung on and missed.
And he's got 97 in the bag to go with that excellent slider.
Downstairs, 1 ball, 1 strike. I think more than anything, Perez went out there to talk to him because, look, he's probably seen Kipnis do a lot of damage. He's got 16 hits against the Royals this year. So he's probably got a good idea of what he doesn't want to see him do here. Two-run double by Michael Bourne has the Indians within a couple of runs here in the 7th inning. Outside, he missed 2-1. Outside, he missed 3 balls and a strike.
Well, there, when you're ahead in the count, there's a pitch right there you can take. You know, it's borderline. You're not sure, but you don't have to swing at it because it's a 2-1 count. And it's called a ball, so now you go to 3-1, and you can really be selective here and look for something you like. See if he comes with that slider. He's got 3 different weapons.
3-1 pitch.
Good fastball, challenged him.
But it was down and in, maybe off the plate. It was close. Similar to the pitch I think that Swisher was called out on.
Well, that's what you do as a hitter in that situation. You look for the pitch that you think you can drive, and if you get it, you get after it. If he puts it in his spot, you take it.
Popped him up, foul, and that's out of play.
He's not messing around. He's coming right at him. He came fastball again.
But I don't think we've seen him throw anything in the heart of the plate.
No.
It's been in or in off the plate or away.
When relievers come in, and it's in the late part of the ball game, they're going to be in or in off the plate. I know a lot of them don't like to throw in there because one swing of the bat could tie the game or give them the lead sometimes. So they're going to make you beat them the other way, opposite field, unless they go way in.
Threw it by him. 98 miles an hour, Hoshaver. Once again, he continues a fantastic season. Strikes out the only 2 he faces, but the Indians get a pair. They're down 5-3 after 7. Reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Cleveland Indians. We go to the 8th inning. The Indians are down 5-3. Jose Ramirez, who pinch ran for Lonnie Chisenhall, stays in the game defensively now at third. And C.C. Lee, who got the final 2 outs of the 7th, stays on to pitch here in the 8th. He's got Salvador Perez, David Lowe, and Alcides Escobar due for Kansas City. Threw it by him. Good fastball. Another fastball, that one at the knees at 94 miles an hour, and it's 0-2. Albers right-hander, lefty Zepchinski both getting loose. Wow, he almost locked up Gomes with that slider. Pretty good movement. Fouled right into the chest protector. Try to shoot for the outside corner and just a little bit off the mark. 2-2. Same pitch, same result. Full count.
A lot of umpires around the stands think that's a strike.
Yeah.
It's outside.
Big bouncer to third. Jose Ramirez sets and throws. One away. Mickey Callaway told me the first time we saw KC Lee, we didn't really see the whole deal. Hold on a second. Let's get the Miller time play of the game earlier. David Lowe goes back, makes a nice play. And that was a heck of an effort by Lowe. Got really twisted and turned around, but did a nice job. Got a tip of the cap from his starter. Now he ropes one down a right field line, headed for the corner. Kuba will dig it out. Lowe's going to try for three. Kipnis with the throw to third, not on line, and it's backed up nicely by Lee. And Lowe's got himself a one-out triple.
Well, that ball, he smoked it down the line. I mean, he hit that ball right on the nose, and he was off thinking three right out of the gate. That ball got down, and watch it. That's past Swisher before he could even get a glove up, right down into the corner. You would think, okay, it's right there, but he kept coming. He put that head down in a one-out triple. Boy, that gets him right there 90 feet away. The relay, you can see, goes by Ramirez. So he will be at third base, and they're going to have to play the infield in now because that's a big insurance run for him.
I was starting to say before that Mickey really felt like the first time we saw KC Lee, he said, look, it's like this with a lot of young pitchers. First time up, their head's spinning, the game's moving fast. They're not comfortable out there. And he said, you know, he walked a lot of guys. He said, that's not him. He's a pretty attack-oriented type pitcher, and he really feels like he's got a chance to be pretty good. Now, again, this is his first taste of big league baseball.
Right.
You can't expect the guy to come out here and dominate right from the get-go.
You see guys that have to go up and down a few times before they can feel comfortable. This is a guy, I just want to make a comment here, that will squeeze. They will squeeze with him. Good speed on third base.
He squeezes, and he bunts it foul. Luckily, he did get the barrel on the ball,
on the breaking ball. This guy can handle it, and that doesn't surprise me at all. They start him. Here it comes. 1-0 count. I mean, that was a good pitch to bunt, but it was the breaking ball. He's buckled him a little bit with it. You know, if it was a fastball, he's just looking to push it out, and he was falling back because it buckled him, the slider. Sure did.
He was fighting himself for dear life just to hold on and get a piece of that. Otherwise, Lowe would have been a dead duck. This time he swings and fouls it.
He wasn't going to let that pitch by because he said, I don't want to squeeze again off that pitch. You know, the squeeze play as a hitter, it puts pressure on you because you know the guy's coming, although they are winning by 2. It is a nice way to push an extra run across. It really is. But when you're up there as a hitter, you usually have a sign you give back, and you know, okay, man, I just got to put it down. Don't worry about it. Don't make a perfect bunt. Just put it down. And there's a lot of pressure on you.
Line him in the left field, a base hit. Boy, had him down on the count.
Hung him a slider.
And Escobar delivers a big run for Kansas City. They come right back and answer, and it's now 6-3 Royals.
See, he'd rather swing at that slider than bunt it, where he was turned around, but that was a hanging breaking ball, and he took advantage of it, and that's going to do it for Lee. So they come back and they get that insurance run. They've scored now in 4 straight innings.
Well, Lee retired the first 3 that he faced, but after the triple by Lowe, RBI hit by Escobar, his night is over. Mark Szybczynski coming on when we come back. Terry Francona with some words of encouragement to an obviously disappointed CC Lee. You know, he retired the first 3 and then that triple, and then he hangs the slider to Escobar, so he leaves giving up a run. Our in-game box score brought to you by your local Hyundai dealers. And now the Royals didn't do anything up until the 5th inning. They only had 3 hits through the first 5 innings, but they broke loose in the 6th. And they have added to it in the 7th and now again here in the 8th.
Yeah, 4 straight innings they've scored in. And, you know, they come back, they tied it, they took the lead, and they're adding on.
They were 1 for their first 13. They're 8 for their last 17. So KC has found their hitting stride as Mark Szybczynski comes on to face Gerard Dyson. He went too far. It's 0-1. One ball, one strike. Slowly chopped towards second. Kipnis steps on the bag, throws to first. Called him safe. Inning stays alive.
Wow, well, it was a good play. Kipnis, he did everything in his power to try to get as much on that throw as he could. Thought he had him, but the speed of Dyson is just, the kid is quick. I mean, he gets down the line, steps on it, turns, makes the throw. Oh, that was close. Awfully close.
Oh, you think he's out? Stretched by Swisher.
You know, my first look, I thought he was, but he's called safe. Bang, bang.
So 2 down, a runner at first. Alex Gordon, the batter. And a first pitch strike from Zipchinski. Former Royal Blake Wood up in the Tribe pen now. The 0-1 popped him up. Cabrera is under it. The shortstop makes the catch. We'll go to the bottom of the 8th, 6-3, Kansas City. Indians Live brought to you by Conrad's Tire Express and Total Car Care. Coming up next, 6-3, Kansas City on top. Going to the 8th, bottom half of the 8th inning, and Lorenzo Cain has come on now defensively for the Royals for David Lowe in right field. Luke Hochevar got the last 2 outs of the 7th and struck them both out. He'll stay on to work the 8th with Carlos Santana leading off for the Indians, down 3. Upstairs with a breaking ball to Carlos Santana. 2 for 3 on the night, couple of base hits. Two balls, no strikes. Looked like a cut fastball.
Yes,
huh?
it
It had
did.
a little movement.
Oh, it was 91. I think that was a cutter because his slider goes straight down.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he has a curveball, too. This guy, being a starter, he's got an assortment. You know, he doesn't have to use them as much. But you can see a 2-0 count. He went right with a cut fastball. There's a four-seamer.
Well, I don't know if it's just simply knowing that he doesn't have to carry the load, doesn't have to pitch more than an inning or two. Maybe that's what it is. But he just looks like a confident pitcher. I can throw it wherever I want to.
It'd be interesting to talk to him. And I mean, how he made that transition, to the bullpen. Well, he has accepted it. And I'm sure, because you have a guy that is one of the better closers in the league this year behind you, that certainly helps. You know, he's not the man, but I'll tell you, he's got great stuff coming out of the bullpen. It's what we've seen, only not to the point with Carrasco. You know, where he's been a starter, he's got good stuff, but it's translated for him the few times he's been coming out of the bullpen. I could see the same thing for Carrasco, to be honest with you. Now, whether it happens or not, who knows? But I'm sure it takes time to get in there and get your confidence and feel like that's my job and I know what I have to do. Be aggressive, throw strikes, get outs.
Well, and of course, as a starter, you're trying to conserve, you're trying to go deep, so you're not letting it all go loose at 97.
Right. You're worried at 3 times through the lineup.
Yeah.
You know, you're going to have to face guys.
Payoff pitch. Checked his swing, and Santana realizes he probably chased ball 4 right there.
It's all right. He's still got another chance. At least he fouled it off. He didn't have a mistake pitch and put it in play. Carlos has been a little more aggressive since he's been put into that number 4 hole as well. I think he swung the bat much better.
I do too.
You know, they said they didn't want to put pressure on him, but I'll tell you what, he looks like he's at home, and that's a perfect pitch.
Well, and he's getting the call.
Yeah.
Whether it's borderline or just off, he's getting the call, and he is continuing to expose that spot.
Well, 3 straight strikeouts, 2 of them called, and there you go. I mean, it's too close to take. He's called it. He says yes, and you know what? You keep going there. Catcher knows. That was a pretty good pitch. I thought Swishers might have been in a little bit more. That was, I think, right on the edge.
Well, up comes Michael Brantley with 1 out here in the 8th inning. Well, we gave you the numbers. The Royals' bullpen ERA-wise the best in the league. You're starting to see one of the big reasons why. When you've got a guy coming out 51st appearance of the year, I think it is, and his ERA is 1 point something.
Right.
He's retired 42 of the first 51 first hitters,
batters.
42 out of 51. You almost have to throw all these numbers out because those were numbers as a starter, and he's not the same guy anymore.
No, he's not. But, I mean, you expect, okay, you figure fastball, slider, but we're seeing a cutter. There's the curveball. He has thrown 4 different pitches here tonight. And this is only the 4th hitter.
The 0-2. A little bit high with the fastball. As Dribble Cabrera waiting on deck. Nope, same result, same pitch. 2-2.
Well, Michael has had success against Hoshaver before and in the past, and I think Hoshaver knows it. All right, he's going. Take your glove off. Give him a couple more. He went through everything he had, and now he's going to sit and wait. I think that same pitch, backdoor slider. There it was.
Two balls, 2 strikes to count. Drive down 6-3 here in the 8th. They now have a dozen hits on the night. 3 of them came in the first, 3 of them came in the 7th.
The double play ball has diffused a couple of opportunities the Indians have had tonight to, have a big inning and come back into this ball game with the 12 hits. But no home runs tonight.
Threw it by him, strikes him out. How about Luke Hoshaver? He's faced 4 hitters. He struck all 4 of them out. Back to the studios one more time for another update with Al.
All right, Matt, it's the 9th inning in Baltimore. New York has taken the lead with a big 4-run 8th inning. The big highlight, Alfonso Soriano, his second home run of the game. This 2-run shot broke a 4-4 tie. It's now 7-5 Yankees, 9th inning at Camden Yards. Matt?
What a pickup that guy has been for the Yankees, huh? He's been like a different guy. He's been like he's a kid.
Yeah, it's almost like he's been reinvigorated.
Yes, he has. He has been a different player.
By the way, 15 innings, and the Texas Rangers have scored 1 run
against
the Pittsburgh Pirates. And if they hold it, the Pirates beat them again tonight. Oakland, who's winning, will have a 3-game lead all of a sudden in the AL West.
And I think those teams play 3 more games in Texas coming this week.
Oakland and Texas head-to-head? Now the A's lead Minnesota. It's 3-1, so certainly a game very much in doubt. And Texas could come back on Pittsburgh, but just so far, 4-1 Pirates in the 7th there. Right? Chopped foul. Boston behind Clay Buchholz trying to finish a shutout of the Tampa Bay Rays. 2-0 Boston in the 9th down at the Trop. Here's the 0-2 to Cabrera. He strikes out. Boy, I tell you what, Luke Hoshaver, unbelievable. 5 hitters, 5 strikeouts. Royals. O'Shaver gets a pat on the back from Nick Kenny. A job well done.
Yeah, I'll say.
My goodness. Hey, let's look back at our keys to the game. Akron Children's Hospital. Zach McAllister, he started out like a house on fire, and then the house blew up on him in the 6th inning.
Yeah, that third time through the lineup, it certainly did. Everything was elevated. He 0-2 walk to Hosmer, and then it fell apart.
Yeah, and the Indians just never the double play ball. And then, hey, that's a credit to Guthrie. He induced him. He got him to hit into him. 3 just routine, tailor-made as they come double play balls. And that really short-circuited the Indians tonight. They're not out of it yet. 6-3, we're in the 9th. But they've got Greg Holland staring them down from the Kansas City bullpen. He's been one of the best this year in the league. Bonifacio jabbed at it, and it's strike 1. There is Greg Holland. He's 3rd in the league in saves with 40. Swing and a miss. He strikes him out. 1 down. Well, this was a big one here. 1st and 3rd, the Indians had a great opportunity. Brantley at the plate, your big RBI guy. That ended the inning. Then on the 4th, first man on, and then Gomes doubles up. Then on the 6th, with 1 out, Brantley's aboard, and Cabrera bangs into the inning ender.
Yeah, sometimes that's a frustrating night. But, as you say, you got to give pitchers credit because they make their pitches. They're the bonus pitch. 1 pitch, 2 outs.
Whoa.
Well, there's a breaking ball coming at your squash.
Fastball outside, he missed. 3-0. Right down Broadway. A vicious cut and a full count. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. Mark Zipchinski with back-to-back Ks here in the 9th. Terry Francona is going to take him out after he retired all 4 that he faced.
Got him on a break. The ball came back from a 3-0 count and gets a strikeout.
Timeout for a pitching change here in the 9th. Tribe down 6-3. on top. They're batting in the top of the ninth. Stay tuned for Indians Live, brought to you by Conrad's Tire Express and Total Car Care. It's coming up next here on Sports Time Ohio. With 2 down, the new Indians pitcher is right-hander Blake Wood. Second appearance, the former Kansas City right-hander has been rehabbing from elbow surgery. And he'll be facing Billy Butler with 2 down and the bases empty here in the ninth. And while we have a moment, mentioned earlier the 2014 schedule officially released next year. The Indians will open this season on Monday, March 31st in Oakland. 3-game series against the A's. Then they'll open. The home opener will be Friday, April 4th against the Minnesota Twins.
So we'll have a 6-game homestand, and following the Twins will be
San Diego.
Yeah, we got
that?
the National League West.
Early, yeah. Very strange. Yeah, the Indians will make trips to the Giants, to the Dodgers, to the Diamondbacks, as well as the Cincinnati Reds, and they'll host Arizona in Cincinnati for 2 each, and they will also host in interleague action the Colorado Rockies and the Padres, as we mentioned. All right, here's Butler. Blake Wood lets it fly on a fastball in there.
Man,
99.
Yeah.
Whoa.
No kidding. You know, I was going to say the first time we watched him, he was a little wild and erratic coming in. I'm sure he was looking forward to it, but he still had good velocity then.
Right up the middle. Blake Wood gives up the base hit on a 100-mile-an-hour pitch to Billy Butler, who just banged it right back up the middle. Pinch runner for Butler, Chris Getz, will come on. And it brings up Mike Moustakas. Runner bluffed the move, pitch out. Maybe he sniffed the pitch out. Getz might have peeked back and saw that Gomes was coming up, and so he stopped in his tracks. Not sure exactly.
Well, as a base stealer, when you take off and you have a feeling, you can always peek in after a step. And if you see that catcher standing up, you can stop and get back. And it looked like that's what he did.
That time just bluffed a move. It's 2-0. Fouled right back. Two balls and a strike. Moustakas, he had a big hit back in that 6th inning. He was 0 for his last 16 when he socked the 2-run double that broke the 1-1 tie and put Kansas City ahead. They have not trailed since. Runner goes, and he got a huge jump. Gomes had no chance, even if he had caught it. But what the Royals did tonight is after they got the 4-1 lead, they added on a run in the 7th and a run in the 8th. Had the Indians' bullpen been able to keep them at bay and keep it at 4 runs, then you're only a run down. But Kansas City got the triple in the 8th inning, and Alcides Escobar drove him home with a base hit. They got a sac fly to bring home Alex Gordon in the 7th. He's running again, swing and a miss, throw to third. They call him safe. I don't know. It was pretty close. Good throw by Gomes. And Ramirez slapped the tag on him, but they're going to give the steal to Getz.
Well, he's in scoring position. He just takes off. Gomes had no chance. Look where he was at by the time he threw the ball.
Yeah.
And he did get his foot in there, but they stole it certainly off Wood with that big, where he arches back. Nothing Gomes could do there.
Payoff pitch. Ball 4. So Wood has come on after the first 2 were out in the inning, and he's given up a hit and a walk. And now Salvador Perez will be the batter. He's 2 for 4 on the night. Throw it by him. Good fastball that time from Blake Wood. Two on, 2 out. And Perez didn't look real good on that swing. It's 0-2. Wood ready, the 0-2 pitch. Low and away. Swung on and missed. He struck him out with some high heat. We'll go to the bottom of the 9th. 6-3 Royals. All right, we go to the 9th inning, bottom half here. Last chance for the Indians. They're down 6-3. And the Indians will be dealing with Greg Holland, 60th appearance of the year, third in the league with 40 saves and a 1.40 ERA. Luke Hoshaver set him up with 5 consecutive strikeouts. Tommy Bowe tells us the Royals' record is 8 straight, set by Blake Stein back in 2001. All right, Jan Gomes will lead it off for the Indians. He's 1 for 3 on the night. Jason Kubel on deck. Jose Ramirez due third.
This guy's had a fantastic year. He had 31 consecutive saves up until Thursday. But, I mean, he's got another arm.
High drive, deep center. Back is Dyson. Back pedaling, and now on the track pulls it down. 1 away. Jason Kubel is 0 for 3 tonight. A little bit low, and he's at 100 miles an hour. So that's 3 guys in this game that have hit 100 miles an hour.
Out of their bullpen, yeah.
Well, 2 for theirs, 1 for ours. Didn't Blake hit triple digits? Blake Wood, did he get 100 too?
It was I saw 99 on his first pitch.
Okay, maybe you only get to 99. Only.
He's wind was blowing
a little shy
into his face.
It's a little short. Kubel fouls it straight back. Two balls and a strike, and that fastball fouled right back. Swung on and missed. Kubel strikes out, 2 down. Well, tonight's one of those good news, bad news deals for the Indians. The good news is Tampa Bay lost and Baltimore lost. The bad news is you lost an opportunity to gain ground on both of them. They could have moved to within a half game of that wild card spot and moved ahead of Baltimore. But as it stands, everybody will just stay right where they are. New York picks up a game on both Baltimore and Cleveland, and so does Kansas City.
So that means that game tomorrow for the Indians is going to be very big here to try and win the series again and do it 3 straight times on this homestand.
And we'll have tomorrow's series finale for you. It's a 12 o'clock Eastern start.
Quick turnaround.
And then the Tribe will be off to Chicago for 4 games starting Thursday night against the White Sox. Greg Holland takes aim. 2-0 pitch to Ramirez. Fastball strike. Popped out of play. In the air left field over near the line, Gordon is there. He makes the catch, and the game is over. And the Indians fall tonight to the Kansas City Royals by a final score of 6-3. The series is now even at a game apiece. As the Royals go to 76 and 69, the Indians fall to 77 and 67. An opportunity to gain ground on Tampa Bay lost here tonight for the Indians. But a chance to come back and win the series now tomorrow at noon against these Royals. Time now for our key play of the game. It's brought to you by KeyBank.
Yeah, you go into the sixth inning. Moustakas, who was in a slump, got a pitch to his liking to drill it down into the corner that was going to score 2 Royals. He goes cruising into second base. That was the big hit of the ball game. They took the lead, and they never looked back again. Get a free Kindle Fire HD when you sign up for a new checking account. Some restrictions apply.
So a clunker here tonight as Kansas City comes away with a 6-3 win. We'll try to figure out what happened to Zach McAllister in the 6th inning tonight in this ball game. That's coming up next on Indians Live.